Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you watching. We are here in this nice, sultry, pleasant, cool Wednesday evening, and we are all waiting in readiness for this crackerjack contest between the JMS Mustangs and the JMS Rangers. The news out there from the middle is that the JNS Rangers have won the toss and they have elected that they will have a bowl first under these nice, cool conditions, probably anticipating that dew will play a major part in this contest as the game goes on. We have the Mustang openers Atul and Karan, with Atul to take strike, and we have Seamab who will kickstart proceedings with the ball, right arm over the wicket, and here we go, first ball of the contest. Plays it nicely towards that fielder at third, very gently opening the face of the bat. Very cautious start this from Atul, just trying to get himself in, get himself used to the conditions out there. One ball in. Here is Sim up once again. Pushes it a little wider compared to the previous delivery. Does seam up and almost lured Atul into going for that expansive drive over the offside. But Atul does not get the connection that he was looking for. But two balls in, we're seeing a semblance of a plan by Seema, trying to pitch it wide and entice the batsman into the big shot. There he goes. This time, though, Atul plays it to its merit and finds the boundary rope, and that is the first runs as well as the first boundary of the game. Bowls it a little closer to the stumps, but this time Atul was well and truly up for it and plays it very late, opening the face of the bat at just the right moment and beats that fielder at short third, and it races away to the fence for four. Good start this from Atul. Nicely played that shot. Very well as well. Seam up, trying to come back now. Again, bowls at a much better line and length. No run. This time again a little closer to the stumps, but not enough width on offer for Atul to go for that cut shot that he did in the previous delivery. So it is a nice watchful start from either side with bat as well as ball. Very sedate from either end, sizing each other up here. Here is seam up to Atul. This time, Atul goes straight, and it's straight into the hands of the fielder at long off. The Rangers strike first blood. And Atul has to depart. Just when I was saying that it was a sedate start, they get the breakthrough. Seema bowls it nice and lures Atul into playing that big shot. He bowls it into the slot. Yo, let's have a look at that once again. Here, luring Atul, enticing him to play that big shot, and Atul obliges, but it hits him on the high end of the bat, and that's a comfortable catch for the fielder at long off. Atul absolutely dejected with the way things went. It was the right shot, it was the right intent, but the execution just wasn't there. 4 for 1, and we are in the first over of the game. The new batsman walking out to the middle is Jitender. He will take strike for what is the final ball of the first over. Jitender to take strike on the final ball of the first over. Here's seam up, and Jitender watchfully lets it go by. So that is the end of the first over, and the Rangers will be happy with the way that first over went. The Mustangs are 4 for 1. And now we'll have Karan take strike for the first ball in this game. Was on the non-strike for the entirety of that first over. Might have had a fair idea of what things could go in him. And meanwhile, Akash will open with the new ball from the other end. And he'll be looking to build upon that good work that Seema did in his first over. Just keep that pressure and do not let the batting side to get a few quick runs here. As Akash taking time to set his field just that little bit so that he bowls according to the field, according to the specifications that he set out. Here is Akash. Bowls it straight. Karan takes the aerial route. First up, 6. What a way to get off the mark, and what a way to face your first ball. Brilliant start from Karan, and that is a majestic shot for 6. Let's have a look at that. In the slot, beautiful extension of the arms, plays with the pace, and the fielders are just admiring the ball as it sails into the night sky for 6. Brilliant shot that from Karan, just using the full pace of the delivery, just going through with that shot and the extension of the arms. Absolute sight to watch. So Karan has got things off with a bang. Here is Akash to Karan once again. And Akash going for the big shot once. Karan. And he's got back-to-back sixes. What a shot this is. This is a graceful flick. All that it was. Again, making sure that the pace of the ball does most of the work for him. And that is a brilliant shot from Karan. So 2 in 2 now. And all of a sudden, Akash is under tremendous pressure. Let's have a look at those sixes once again. Look at this. Beautiful. Just letting the ball do its work. And he flicks it with grace. 6 from the moment it hit the bat. And here is the first ball. Straight, elegant, classy, powerful, you name it. And that is the 6. Karan in confidence. Akash backed into a corner. What will happen in this delivery? Oh, that's a beautiful comeback from Akash after being hit for consecutive sixes. Cuts Karan in half with that delivery. Jags back in sharply. And Karan did well enough to make sure that no bat was involved or no glove was involved. Or else that would have been curtains for him. But that is a good comeback. And that is exactly what you'd expect from a bowler who's been hit for back-to-back sixes. And Karan standing well outside his crease here, a couple of feet outside. Here is Akash. Plays it down the ground this time and it goes for 4. So Karan putting on a clinic of batting here. Again, a foolish delivery, more of a half volley. And Karan, in the form that he is and in the hitting form that he is, does not need a second invitation to go after these balls. Karan, so far in the 4 balls, this is a perfect example of stand and deliver. There, this time, hits it down the ground. Will only be a single though. So this is a big over. And this is just the perfect over that the Mustangs were looking for to compensate for that loss of the first wicket in that first over as well. 17 runs coming off it. Still one more delivery to go, but this time it is Jitender who will be on strike to Akash. And Jitender gets into the party and starts off with a boundary. So 21 runs coming off this over. It's a huge over indeed. And the JNS Mustangs after 2 overs are 25 for 1. Have a look at this. Brilliantly played. Absolutely beautiful. On one knee, opens his arms up beautifully and uses the offside to perfection. Massive, massive over this. And we are just 2 overs into the contest. Seema is brought back into the attack. There is Let's have a look at what the field is here. It is a long off and a deep fine leg. It's a long on and a deep fine leg. The two fielders that are there in the deep for Seamab, as he will be bowling to Karan for the first time. Mind you that Karan did not face Seamab in the first over. He will be facing Seamab for the first time as well. And this is a spinner here. So definitely Karan will fancy his chances in this particular matchup. Will be probably trying to stamp his authority on proceedings from the very first ball itself. And a different approach for the spinner standing inside his crease. Oh, a tentative prod forward. Once again, seam up coming into Karan. Swing and a miss. So the intent pretty clear from Karan that he will be going after the spinner. What will seam up do? The batsman has played all his cards and has shown him exactly what he's going to do. It is up to the bowler to have a change or maybe bowl the way that he wants to. Here comes seam up once again. Plays it nicely down the ground. Will get a single. That will bring Jitender on strike. Here is seam up to Jitender. Cuts nicely just beyond that fielder, and that will race away to the boundary. Just the right amount of power and cut. Yeah, he's cut that very well. That's a perfect way to execute a cut shot off the back foot. Waits for the ball, opens the base of the bat at just the last minute, and gets enough elevation and distance to get it past that fielder at short third, and that will race away to the boundary. So Jitender slowly getting a move on. In the three balls that he's faced, he's sent two of them for boundaries. So it is a good start for both the batsmen with the bat. And here is Seam Up now. What will Seam Up do and what will be his comeback delivery? Beautiful shot from Jitender. And oh, that is excellent fielding there from the deep. Certainly saved a boundary, saved a couple of runs there for his side. Good effort and good effort there. Look at that. That's a beautiful off drive. Lovely shot. And look at the fielder there. Covered a lot of ground, sticks a leg out, and makes sure that the ball does not reach the boundary. Nice. Full-blooded forward defensive shot. So 7 runs coming off this over. 3 overs done. The Jns Mustangs sitting pretty at 32 for 1. So 3 overs into this contest and the Mustangs are sitting pretty. They would obviously have wanted to avoid losing that one wicket that they have. But despite that, they will be very pleased with the way that things have gone in the first 3 overs. They're going at 10.66 runs an over halfway through the power play. Need I remind you, only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle for the first 6 overs. And we are halfway through the power play. And Karan currently batting on 18 of 8 deliveries. Meanwhile, Jitender on 10 of 5. Gokul is the new bowler who's been introduced into the attack within the power play. Left arm around the wicket. And Karan greets him with a brutal hit for six. What a welcome for Gokul. Look at Karan, look at the brute force there. Sheer power in that strike. And from the moment it hit the bat, you know that it was going just one way. Which way? That way over the boundary for six. Absolute display of sheer brute force from Karan. He is taking no prisoners in this batting inning so far. He's raced away to 24 of 9, hitting the ball to all corners of the boundary, standing and delivering with brutal efficiency. There he goes once again, and that is four. One bounce over the rope. Karan is on a mission, and he is on a mission to plunder as many runs as he can with boundaries. Look at that, stand and deliver. It does seem that there is nothing the Rangers can do so far that can stop Karan. He is like a freight train moving with breakneck speed. It's a good defensive prod after a 6 and a 4. Karan at this point looks like he knows exactly what he's doing. 28 of 11. He is running away like a tracer bullet. Here is Gokul once again. In the air. That's high. That's high. And that is. Oh, he's caught. That is caught. That is caught. Just when I was talking about Karan looking like he was under control of whatever he was doing, he gets this on the highest end of the bat and he's lost his wicket. So just when it felt like the Mustangs were gaining momentum, let's have a look at this once again. Flights it, gets the upper edge, and that is in the air for a very, very long time. The keeper drops it, but great presence of mind from the fielder next to him, who catches it at the second attempt. So Karan has to depart for 28 of 12. He was looking set for a big one, but let's have a look at this one once again. The keeper fumbles it, but that is excellent reflexes from the fielder there, who catches it at the second attempt. 42 for 2 now, the Jns Mustangs. And Dheeraj, the new man in the middle. They would have wanted Karan to stay for as long as possible, given the way things were going in his favor. He was seeing the ball like a football up until his dismissal. But now the Mustangs will have to have a new strategy with a new batsman out there in the middle to make sure that the momentum is not stopped and that the score does not stagnate. They've had a very good start to the power play despite losing the 2 wickets. They want to continue in the same mold. Here is Gokul bowling to Dheeraj, who will be facing his first delivery. Nice push down the ground. Will not be any run. And Dheeraj takes the aerial route. And he gets off the marking style with a boundary. And that is gone for 4. So Dheeraj deciding he's had enough. A half volley. Takes it on the full. Hoping that there was a chance out there, but falls eventually quite safely. And the fielder at long off a little too straight for his own liking. So 4 overs gone. 14 runs, but the big wicket of Karan. The JNS Mustangs are 46 for 2. Jamin, the new bowler who's been brought into the attack. Two more overs left in the power play. The Mustangs have made a very good start as far as the runs are concerned, though they have lost 2 wickets. And that is where the Rangers will feel that they are still in the game. Another wicket here would probably make it an equal contest. What can Jamin do here? Jitendra, the man on strike. Oh, he's gone! Just when I was talking about the Rangers needing a third wicket, Jamin delivers that in the very first ball of his spell. Straight to the hands of that shot mid-off. And Jitinder has to walk back, and that is the third wicket down for the Mustangs. And now you can say that they are in a bit of a bothersome situation at the moment. So two set batsmen dismissed in quick succession. Here it is, was not the best ball, and Jitender just can't believe that he found the fielder out there. Here he's timed that to perfection. Look at that, off the middle of the blade, but straight to the fielder. The fielder didn't have to move an inch. And Jitinder just cannot believe that he has to walk. But that is his wicket. And that is the third wicket down. So a little bit of a trouble situation here. Vikas is the new batsman out in the middle. So all of a sudden the Mustangs find themselves with two new batters out there in the middle. The score's still at a healthy clip, but they've lost a couple of wickets more than what they were expecting to. And here is Jamin bowling to Vikas now. Plays it on the up, and that is a bit of a misfield, and that means Vikas will get off the mark with a single. Not the type of fielding effort that the bowling side was looking for, especially after a wicket on that first delivery. They would have wished that they'd avoided that misfield. And here is Dheeraj now facing Jamin. There's a little bit of a change in the field. Deep point. And that's edged. Oh, that was so close to wicket number 4. The bowler has his hand on his head. Look at that genuine edge. Oh, the keeper should have taken that. The keeper had it, and you have fielders from everywhere having hands on their head. That could have and should have been wicket number 4 for the Rangers. Dheeraj lives to survive another day. You lucky boy, Dheeraj. Plays that. No timing whatsoever, so it won't be a run. Heavy is the head. Being the team who is in the ascendancy is a bit of a blessing and a curse. If you look at it, Dheeraj standing well outside his crease. Here's Jamin. Again plays it nicely but for no run. This has been a very, very tidy and tight over here from Jamin. Gets a wicket of his first delivery and only a single in the next 4 deliveries. Jamin and Rangers both will want to finish this over strongly so that they manage to pull that scoring rate a bit, preferably a dot ball, but a wicket here will be the cherry on the cake. Dheeraj goes for the big shot, and Dheeraj will get the boundary just about. That ball trickling. Waiting for the umpire's signal here. And that is a brilliant way to start the final over of the power play. Goes smashing away for the boundary of the very first ball and pressure straight away on Gokul. Two runs off the next delivery, so Vikas slowly and steadily getting a move on. Plays it nicely, but this time straight to the fielder on the bounce. So back-to-back dot deliveries after the four and the couple of runs that he conceded in the first two balls. So decent comeback by Gokul. Still, the over's not done. Last two balls of the power play to go. Vikas crouching low and trying to play that cut shot, but the ball just did not have enough bounce for it. Last ball of the power play. Gokul to Vikas. And Vikas takes the aerial route, stands and crashes that and gives it. That's gone for a six. So what a way to finish the power play. Shot sat up nicely, and Vikas did not need a second invitation for that. And that has gone all the way for six. And that brings us to the end of the power play. 6 overs gone. Six overs gone. 61 for 3. Pretty promising power play. Despite the 3 wickets lost for the Mustangs, they've scored at over 10 runs an over. And that was the first boundary in that over. Beautiful extra cover drive on a full toss, low full toss. Missed the Yorker length by a matter of inches. And we have Jamin, who's been brought back into the attack after bowling a good first over, given away just 3 runs and taken a wicket in the process. Here is Dheeraj. Was looking for a quick tap and run on the offside, but no single on offer there. So what can Dheeraj do here? He's currently batting on 6 of 7. Oh, he's knocked him over! Brilliant comeback from Jamin, and he gets a wicket in his second delivery. And that is the 4th wicket down for the Jns Mustangs. Look at that beautiful delivery. Late movement. Look at that late movement in. Dheeraj was totally unaware, and that just clatters onto the stumps. And Jamin is on cloud 9. And why won't he be? Looking like $1,000,000 out there with the ball. He is bowling brilliantly. And now the Rangers are on top. The Mustangs 61 for 4. Rohit is the new batsman who's walked out to the middle, marking his guard as he's preparing himself to take strike. So runs are flowing, but wickets are also tumbling. Perfect balance between bat and ball. Plays it straight down the ground for no run. Halfway through to the seventh over. The Mustangs are 61 for 4. Rohit to face German. Oh, he's played that a little on the uppish side, but will get a single and get off the mark. Does Rohit? Was trying to play down the ground on the leg side, but it got the upper end of the bat, due to which the ball ballooned into the air, lands safely in front of the fielder. So Vikas to continue to face Jamin. Plays it nicely. Good strong defensive push down the ground. Once again, this is another successful over from Jamin. Gave away 3 in his first, and he's just given away a single in this over as well. And has taken a wicket too. So excellent bowling from Jamin. His overs will be very critical as the game goes on in this first innings. And here is Jamin to complete the 7th over. And another defensive push. And that will bring us to the end of a 7th over. That is a brilliant over from Jamin. Back to back excellent overs. 7 overs done. The Jns Mustangs are 62 for 4. So 7 overs gone, and for the first time, that run rate for the Mustangs has dropped below 10. In fact, it is dropped below 9 at 8.886. So Jamin's 2 overs have been a huge level of made a huge level of difference. And as I speak, the Rangers make another bowling change. It is Vishal who's been introduced into the attack, and it will be Rohit who will be taking strike for this over. Vishal looks to be bowling from around the wicket. Very intriguing bowling run up. Will probably be going around the umpire to deliver his ball. And yes, it is. So here's Vishal. Plays it down the ground, but there is protection there. And this is nice, aggressive field placement by the Rangers. Not allowing that easy single to get off strike to keep that scoreboard ticking. No opportunities for easy runs, and that is really good thinking by the fielding side, making sure that the batsmen are forced to take risks. And just when I was talking, that is an absolute gimme of a delivery. Low full toss, exactly what the batsman was looking for, and he swings for the hills for 6. Not the best delivery from Vishal. A full toss, especially at the time when your team is in the ascendancy, picking up a couple of wickets, making sure that the scoring rate had dropped. But that six has brought Mustangs that new lease of life. And he follows that up with a wide. We'll have to bowl that one again. He'll have to be a little careful with his line and length, does Vishal, or else it might eventually prove to be a pretty costly over. There, that's a good looking shot. They're coming back for the second, and they will get it rather easily at the end. So a nice productive over under the circumstances here for the Mustangs. 9 runs coming off it. 9 runs coming off it. Still 3 more balls to go. Nicely tapped down the ground to long off for a single. We cast the batsman on strike. Two more balls to go. Will be called a wide, and they will scamper that extra by as well. So that is another 2 runs added to the tally. So this, just when it looked like things were falling in place for the Rangers. 12 runs coming off this over now. Some words exchanged. Not sure why the non-striker's unhappy, but we will have a resumption in the contest. Rohit facing Vishal. Nice forward push. Rohit looking for a quick single, but wisely sent back by his partner. So one more ball left in the over. Pretty expensive over. 12 runs coming off it. A couple of extras. A 6. Rohit making sure that he is comfortable. Let's have a look at that 6 once again. It was a pretty poor ball under the circumstances. It's a rank full toss. Absolute free swing for Rohit. Just picks it up beautifully. And that goes comfortably for 6, like without any sort of obstacle out there. Beautiful bat swing. Uses the full strength. Here is Vishal bowling to Rohit. Bowling to Vikas. It's a bit of a misfield. They're looking for 2. They're chancing the arm of that fielder. Very good running here. So here is Jemin. It's a huge appeal. The umpire calls it a wide. The bowler was clearly interested. He thought he heard a sound. No. It's comfortably away from the bat as well as pad. Not sure what sound he heard. That is definitely not off the bat. So an appeal, and that is gone. Is it? Another hopeful appeal, but nothing doing. Jamin again looked to be very, very interested in that appeal, but nothing doing, says the umpire. Jamin desperate to add a couple of more wickets to his tally. He's already got two of them. He wants more. He's looking for more. And that is always a good sign from a bowler. When he's looking for more wickets, you know that he has a good rhythm going on. He has a fluency to him. He's bowled a couple of tight overs. He's put the pressure on the batsmen. He's not allowed them to score freely. And that is exactly what he's going to look for in his third over as well. He's bowling three consecutive overs back to back from one end. Plays it nicely, but there is no scope for a single because of how tight the close-in fielders are. And that has been the recurring theme of this fielding effort. The fielders have been placed in the circle in such a manner that that quick single is not on that offside. And to Jemin's credit, he's bowling right to his field. He's keeping it outside that off stump there once again. But this time they managed to pinch that single through. But this is excellent bowling with a plan from the bowling side. Jemin's kept the ball mostly outside the off stump. He's not given them the wriggle or the wiggle room to just glance it or use their wrists to play it, maneuver it down that leg side. And it is a pretty well set field too. A deep square leg. The leg side seems to be packed. It's a deep square leg, a deep mid wicket, a long on. And he's flicked that one. That's gone fine. And that is gone to the rope for four. Just when I was talking about how tight Jamin was bowling, he strays and he pulls this one down the leg side. And with the fine leg fielder not there, all the batsman had to do was just get bat on it. And he does that with ease. So 8 runs coming off this over. The Mustangs slowly picking up the scoring now. Here is Jamin. Plays it down the ground and they pinch a single. So 9 runs coming off this over. 9 overs gone. The Jns Mustangs are 82 for 4. So 9 overs gone. 82 for 4. So once again a gradual rebuild from the Mustangs batting side after losing their 4th wicket. And it's Vishal who's been brought back into the attack. Went for 10 in his first over. And here is Rohit. Face him. Nicely bowled. Bowling it full and into the batsman, not allowing him to free his arms. Bowling it nicely full around that Yorker length. Bowling it accurately as well. Here is Vishal once again. This time Rohit plays it down the ground comfortably to that long off fielder for a single. Vishal bowling to Vikas. Plays it off the back foot. Will get another comfortable single this time as well. So both Rohit and Vikas slowly understanding the need to knock it around for a little bit and just keep that scoreboard moving. They can get the big shots later. They still have plenty of time in their favor. No run, plays it straight to the bowler. But yeah, the approach from both the batsmen seems to be a pretty intelligent one. They're just looking to rotate the strike, to keep that scoreboard moving, just to get 5 or 6 singles in that over. There again was trying to breach that gap on the offside, but not successful in doing so. So Vishal's bowled a pretty nice over, a good comeback, just 2 runs conceded off it. Last ball, Vishal to Rohit, bowls it nicely, but this time he's found the gap. We get a comfortable couple. Four runs coming off the over. We are halfway through to the first innings, and the Jns Mustangs are 86 for 4, and it's time for refreshments and drinks. So drinks have been taken. Both teams, after looking at the situations that they find themselves in, and on the face of it all, you believe that the Rangers would be slightly happier with the way things have gone. They've restricted the scoring and they've brought it down to under 9 runs and over. And so Amar is the new bowler introduced into the attack, and Vikas will be the one who will take strike. Here is Amar. Close call. So a long on, a long off, deep fine, deep extra cover, and a deep mid wicket. Plays it down the ground once again to the bowler. So this is a nice confident start from the bowler. Two dot balls in a row. What must be going through Vikas's mind at this moment? Will he just continue the wait and see approach? Again, plays it down the ground but straight to that fielder. So make that three dot balls now. Pretty sure there must be the inkling of a big shot somewhere in the mind of Vikas. Let's see what he does. Well, that will be called a wide, and you will have to bowl that one again. So, credit where it is due. The Rangers bowling have been pretty quick. They've managed to bowl at a decent clip. Just short and well fielded there by that fielder at short third. Excellent fielding effort. Keeps it down to only a single. Let's have a look at that. Plays it very well, but that is excellent, excellent effort. That's a great fielding effort for the cause. Putting his body on the line there, saving 3 runs for his side. That will surely boost the spirits up of his fielders in and around him. Excellent work. Amar now bowling to Rohit. Plays it down the ground, and once again, another good fielding effort by the bowler, stopping that single. So again, just 2 runs coming off it. So the Rangers slowly and steadily putting the clamps on the batting here, not allowing easy run making. Plays it down the ground, will be just a single. So only 3 runs coming off this over. Good over in the context of the Rangers as far as their bowling effort goes. 11 overs gone. The Jns Mustangs are 89 for 4. So 11 overs into the contest, and the Mustangs, who were earlier scoring at rate of well over 11 runs an over, have now found their run scoring coming at just 8.09 an over. A huge drop off given where they were. And the fall of wickets will definitely have a part to play in it, but also an equal contribution will be to the fielding effort. Meanwhile, here's Vishal to start his third over. Nicely played off the back foot, but there is protection there at extra cover, will only be a single. So we've gone 2 overs without a boundary now for the Mustangs, and that is slowly and steadily turning out to be a little bit of a concern. They need the boundaries equally as they need the strike rotation. Tries to play that fine, will be called a wide, and they will get a single as well to boot. So taking the singles, taking the twos, getting that extra run off an extra delivery is all well and good. But obviously you need a boundary to just release the shackles a little bit, to break free from that spell of pressure that you're going through at this particular point of the game. Oh, that was darted quickly. That was very, very close indeed. Very close. It's good bowling this from Vishal. Bowls it a little slower through the air. Will get a single. But that is not an issue for the Rangers at this point. Getting a single, absolutely no problem. They will let them have that. It is the boundaries, and to their credit, the Rangers bowlers have not been given away that easy boundary deliveries ever since somewhere down that 7th over, where it was an absolute rank long hop of full toss from Vishal, ironically. There, that's another good ball. They will pinch that single through, but again, no boundary. The Mustangs are now edging closer to three straight overs without a boundary. Surely that will be a lot of pressure on them. Just get that release shot. They'll have to find it from somewhere. Either of the two batsmen, either Rohit or Vikas, will have to find that release shot just to make sure that they have that scoring run rate under control. Here is Rohit. He's going for the big shot, a huge appeal, and not out, says the umpire. Close call under the circumstances, but if you look at it, probably the right call has been made. Probably going to marginally go down that leg side. Here's Rohit. Plays it, and that's nicely played. A much needed boundary, a welcome boundary for the Jns Mustangs. Almost 3 overs, but they got it. Wide, outside, frees his arms, gets that gap between those two fielders, and that ball cruises away to the boundary. There, gets into position quickly, finds that timing to perfection, and no chance for the fielder there. So that is the end of the 12th over. The Mustangs are 98 for 4. And it is Amar once again who's been brought into the bowling attack. And it is Vikas who is the batsman on strike. So 8 overs gone, 8 overs remaining in the batting innings. The Mustangs currently find themselves at 98, still 6 wickets in hand. What would be the target that they will be setting, or what would be a number that they have thought about in that drinks break? Surely somewhere around 170 to 175 would be a competitive total on this pitch. We'll have to wait and see if they manage to reach that. Here is Amar bowling to Vikas. Gentle prod down the ground for no run. Oh, that's a big appeal for a stumping. Beautifully flighted delivery from Amar. Beaten the batsman, all ends up with that particular delivery there. So again, this is another excellent start to the over from Amar. Both the batsmen out there in the middle finding an element of difficulty when it comes to facing Amar. His ability to dart the ball in, his ability to get a little bit of purchase off the wicket is keeping both those batsmen guessing. Takes the aerial route, and that is gone. So the pressure has eventually told off, and Amar gets his first wicket, and the Mustangs have now lost half their side. This is brilliant, brilliant bowling here from Amar, preying on the batsman's inability to accelerate here. Bowls it nicely and slowly. No connection whatsoever, and that is as comfortable a catch for that fielder there at fine leg. Half their side have gone now, and they've still not crossed 100. Definitely some panic bells ringing around the dressing room for the Mustangs. And the score after the fall of this wicket is 98 for 5. Hemal, the new batsman, walking out to the middle. Mustangs finding themselves in a little bit of trouble now. The scoring rate was as it is on the slower side, but a wicket now might have the potential to slow it down even further. And that is probably not the thing that the Mustangs would want to see, given that they're looking in search for a competitive total. It's in the air. First ball, land safely, and will comfortably come back for a couple of runs. So that eventually brings up the 100 for the Mustangs. They've lost 5 wickets in the process, but they'll still, with with Rohit still on strike, they'll be looking to get to their target of 170. Swing and a miss from the batsman there, trying to cut on a ball which was non-existent. Amar to continue. Plays it down the ground, and that is the end of the over. 100 for 5, the JNS Mustangs. So Seamab has been brought back into the attack. 7 overs to go from here. 100 up on the board, but they've lost 5 wickets in the bargain. This will definitely look to be getting under the skin of the Mustangs batters, even if that means taking time to bowl your spell. And here is Seamab coming to bowl to Rohit. Oh, another loopy shot that just bounces in front of the fielder. Very, very fortunate here. Raised off the back foot this time. Gets a quick single for his troubles. That brings Hemal on strike. Yeah, and oh, he's dropped that. Just when it felt like the fielder had it under control, the fielder thought he had it under control, the bowler thought his fielder had it under control, but he did not have it under control. It was a comfortable height, should have been taken simply, but unfortunately did not stay in his hands long enough. There again, he's trying to play a sweep cut. Just 3 singles coming off it. Swing and a miss now, so the pressure steadily building up, steadily increasing on the batting side, and that is definitely not a good sign for the Mustangs. They hope that they do not get carried away and try to send the balls outside the rope, especially the ones that are not playing it well. So that is the end of the 14th over. The Mustangs are 104 for 5. So Amar brought back to bowl his third over, giving away just 5 runs and taking a wicket. Hemal, the batsman, on strike, glances it down the ground for a single. So here is Rohit facing Amar. Gives him a little bit of room, but he was not able to get any connection whatsoever behind that. Billiard on ball. So words of encouragement from the bowling side from his bowler. Plays it nicely. Quick single. Looking for the overthrow and they will get it. That is great game awareness out there. Trying to take the singles and then making those singles into twos. So good awareness and good cricketing smarts displayed by both the batsmen out there in the middle. So dot ball. But will be called a wide, so you'll have to bowl that one again. Again plays it down the ground. So that is the end of the 15th over. 5 more overs to go after this. The Mustangs are 109 for 5. Another excellent over this from Amar. Just giving away 6 runs off it. The Jns Mustangs after 15 are 110 for 5. 5 more overs to go. Can the Mustangs end their batting innings with an absolute bang? Vishal bowling to Hemal. Hemal currently batting on 8 of 10 deliveries. Not found his bearings a bit. Flicks it down the leg side, will only be a single. Here is Vishal bowling to Rohit. Tries to take a huge swing but misses it completely. Settle for a leg by. So nothing much going in the favor of the Mustangs at the moment in terms of runs, boundaries, scoring shots. They'll have to engineer some of them, although we all know how difficult of a task that is, especially when you're struggling for momentum, frequency, and timing as well, which is exactly what Hemal is going through at the moment. Oh, that's a smart looking shot, taking advantage of that lack of fielder there, and that is being saved very well by the fielder at deep. Again, putting the body on the line for the cause. Excellent work out there in the deep. Definitely stopped 2 runs for his side. So taking 2 runs there. So Vishal has bowled well. He's halfway through his fourth over, given away 25. Not taken a wicket, but he's been economical. Ooh, was there a leaning edge there? We'll have to wait for the umpire's signal. Runs off the bat. So there was a chance out there. Half chance, but a chance nevertheless. So this is another good over so far. Just 5 runs coming off it. No boundaries. Again, the Rangers have done very well to cut the supply of boundaries for the Mustangs. They barely found a couple. Oh, that's spanked. That is hit a long, long way. And that is gone for 6. And probably the boundary that the Mustangs require to kick-start their batting once again after quite a fair time of a lull. Here, as you can see, let's have a look at this. He's bowled it in the slot, gives him the charge, and hits it straight over the bowler's head for 6. Lovely batting that. And that means Rohit has taken a move on. He moves on to 30s, 34 of 28. And the score now 121 for 5. And what up until that point was looking to be a nice and tight over has now gone into the favor of the batting side with that 6. So 11 runs coming off this over. One more ball to go. Oh, swing and a miss. So that'll bring the end of an over. 16 overs gone. The Mustangs 121 for 5. So last 4 overs to go, 121 for 5. How many more can the Mustangs get from here so that they can set what they believe is a competitive target? Hemal reaching out for that shot will get a single. Amar has also bowled excellently. Just 12 runs conceded. He's into his final over, given away just 12, taken a wicket in the process as well. Swing and a miss from Rohit. So you can see that both the batsmen are making a rather conscious effort to get a move on, but the bowling has been so good that they're just not been able to break the shackles completely. Here's Rohit again, and this time gets the wicket, and that is wicket number 6. And it is the well set Rohit who has to walk. Excellent bowling from Amar. Gets his second wicket. There you go. Lures him just that little bit outside the crease. And that is lightning fast glove work from the wicketkeeper. Very, very well done indeed by the keeper. Excellent work. And the JNS Mustangs now are 128 for 6. Rohit has to depart for 34. Rishi Raj is the new batsman who is walking out to the middle. Nice, disciplined, and tight bowling this from the Rangers bowling attack as a whole. They've given away very little in terms of scoring opportunities. And especially, this is a great feat considering the flurry of boundaries that they gave away in the power play. They have pulled down that scoring to great effect. They've given away 61 runs in the first 6 overs. They've only given away 67 in the next 10 and a half. So that is some effort from the bowlers as a whole. Rishi Raj standing well inside his crease to Amar. Oh, what a catch! What an absolute stunner! He's plucked that one out of thin air. Rishi Raj just can't believe it, but he has to walk back, and that is the 7th wicket down for the Mustangs. The fielding has been a great, great outlet of putting pressure. And look at this, excellent dives, sticks his hand out, and what a grab that is! What a phenomenal grab! The fielding has been one of the big positives for the Rangers here, and this is just another example of why they've stopped the singles, they've stopped boundaries, and now they are plucking blinders out of thin air. Their fielders are complementing the bowlers equally well. 128 for 7 now, the Mustangs, and their innings is now in danger of falling apart. Very, very, very well fielded there by that fielder at point. Take a bow, sir. Take a bow indeed. Setting an example for all of us watching. Chintu is the new batsman coming out to bat. And Amar is on a hat trick. Will only be a single. So Amar to bowl the final ball of his spell. Hemal on strike, who plays it down the ground for a single. That is the end of the 17th over, and what a brilliant spell of bowling it has been from Amar. 3 wickets for 20 runs in his 4 overs. The Jns Mustangs, with 3 overs to go, are 130 for 7. Gokul is the bowler brought back into the attack. He's been expensive. He's taken a wicket, but he's given away 26 runs. But perhaps a different situation will help him here. Here is Hemal. He's trying to make that into a full toss, but will only get a single. Was trying to look for two, but not much of an opportunity to get a couple of runs out there. So now that they've lost 7 wickets, probably anywhere they will have to try and reach anywhere between that 155 to 160 run mark. And the onus will squarely be on Hemal. That's in the air, but will fall short of the fielder there at deep square leg. Again, only a single. So a long off, a long on, a deep extra cover, a deep mid wicket, and deep square leg. Plays it on the offside. There is protection out there. Will only be a single. Was looking for the second, but wisely sent back. So 3 singles in the 3 balls. Chintu on strike. Takes the aerial route and takes it well. And that is gone all the way for 6. A much needed boundary, and that was a good shot in the slot. Takes the aerial route and plays it very nicely over extra cover all the way for 6. So that is a very, very good shot indeed from Chintu. They'll need more of those. And after the 6, after it, it's a nice tap down the ground for a single. Hemal goes down the ground, will only be a single, and that was a 4, not a 6. Here, let's have a look at that boundary once again. Nicely played. So the end of the 18th over, the Jns Mustangs are 139 for 7. 2 more overs to go from here. How many runs can they get from this situation? They'll probably be looking at 20 to 25. And it is Seamab who's been brought back into the attack to finish his quota of 4 overs. He's bowled economically as well, giving away 15 runs in his 3 overs. Let's see what the Mustangs batsmen can do from here in these 12 legal deliveries. Hemal to Seamab. Edges, and that is running away to the fence, and that is gone to the boundary for 4. So that is another much needed boundary. Plays it very well, opens the face of the bat, gives himself just that little bit of room, and plays that cut shot to perfection. Textbook cut shot that from Hemal. And the score moves on to the 140s now for the Mustangs. A bit of pressure on Seema, conceding a boundary of the very first ball. It's in the air, and that is dropped. It was a good effort by that fielder. Rushed in, but he was unable to keep the ball under his control while falling to the ground. But a very good effort nonetheless to keep it down to only a single. That will bring Chintu on strike now. Oh, a swing and a miss, and that's missed by the keeper too. And that will go to the boundary for 4 byes. So runs coming, and you would believe that the Mustangs would not matter how they came as long as they came. That ball kept low. The keeper disappointed that he wasn't able to gather that. But these are welcome runs for the Mustangs. 9 runs already, still 3 more balls to go. 148 the score now. They will take the runs any which way with both hands. Plays it well, and that's dropped. That was a comparatively simple chance, and the fielder at extra cover drops it. There, he hit it nicely, but he hit it straight to the fielder. That was a regulation chance which was put down and was sent back. No run there whatsoever. God knows what Chintu was thinking. In the air, falls short, and this time they come and scamper across for a single. So everything happening in this over. There's a boundary, a drop catch, another opportunity created. So everything happening in this over, and yet the over has gone for 10 runs as well. 1 more ball to go in this over. Plays that down the ground towards that fielder at long on. Only a single. So that brings up the 150 for the JNS Mustangs. And that is the end of the 19th over. 1 more over to go. The JNS Mustangs are 150 for 7. So final 6 legal deliveries of the contest to go. How many runs can the Mustangs get from here? Smart money says that they should be targeting anywhere between 160 to 165, and for this very reason they bring Jamin, their best bowler, back for his final over. Jamin has been exceptional. 3 overs, giving away just 13 runs and taking 2 wickets. And the Rangers will obviously be counting on Jamin to concede as few as possible. Here is Jamin bowling to Hemal. Swing and a miss first up, starts with a dot ball. Very good start from Jamin. Bowling it a fraction wide, forcing Hemal to go for that wide ball and try to play the risky shot. Beats him there with the first delivery. 5 more to go. Here is Jamin once again. Another swing and a miss. Back to back good deliveries here from Jamin. Jamin delivering a very, very good over so far and delivering on his captain's expectations as well. Here is Jamin bowling to Hemal. And that is another dot ball. This is an excellent over so far. 3 dot balls in a row. And he's bowling that line and length to perfection. He's bowling on that goodish length around that 4th, 5th stump channel in that corridor of uncertainty. That will be a wide. He was trying to bowl that same length, but this time pushed it a little too wide for his liking. So finally a run after 3 deliveries, but still no boundary. So very good over so far. Still 3 more balls to go. Anything can happen. Here is Jamin to bowl the fourth. Hemal on strike. Picks it. It's in the air. In the air for a very long time, but that is dropped. The fielder was never in a position to set himself nicely. And that's a missed, and that's an overthrow. They will get 3. Hemal was looking for the fourth, but they will settle for a 3. But what should have only been a single is 3 runs. Surely the fielding side won't be happy with that, and Chairman will specifically not be happy with that. There did not get himself under the ball at all, and after that what followed was a pretty casual display of outfielding. Not the best effort, and they will not the best effort on what has otherwise been a very good outing on the field for the Rangers. Still 2 more balls to go. Just 4 runs conceded of it. Hemal taking 3 means that Chintu will be the batsman on strike for the penultimate delivery of the final over. So here is Jamin. Chintu, the batsman on strike. Oh, he's picked that. It's in the air. Beats the fielders and nicely fielded. And that will be a couple. Once again, it has still been a very good over. Only 6 runs conceded and no boundaries of it whatsoever. All Jamin needs to do is bowl and finish the over strongly. The Mustangs just 1 hit away from 160. The score that they will be looking for. Can they get to that 160 run mark? The onus is on Chintu. Here it is. Chairman to Chintu, the final ball of the first innings. A swing and a miss. And it is a dot ball. So an excellent final over this from Jamin, giving away just 6 runs. And the Jns Mustangs eventually finish their 20 overs with 156 for 7. And you can't help but wonder that they will be at least 20 to 25 runs short of what they initially expected given the start that they had. So it's a good bowling performance by the JNS Rangers. When they come out to bat, the target in front of them will be 157. We will come back with the run chase. Till then, stay safe. Here we are preparing ourselves as the Rangers set themselves up for the run chase. The target in front of them is 151 runs. The Jns Mustangs in their first innings stumbled across to 150. So 151 is the target for the Rangers at an asking rate of around 7.55. Normally, at this particular instance, you would fancy the chasing side, given that there is a huge amount of dew in the outfield. But these are the targets that tend to be the potential banana skins when you come to chasing it. It may be a small target at the end of it all, but a couple of wickets early on and a few tight overs up front would make for very, very interesting viewing. So 151 the target for the Rangers. It all depends on how the Mustangs kickstart the proceedings with the ball. We have the openers all in readiness. We have the bowler who is on his mark. Anish and Rohan are the openers out in the middle. Anish is the one who will face the first ball. And Rohit to kickstart proceedings with the ball. Here is Rohit to Anish. It's in the air. And that was a very good ball first up. Induces a genuine edge, but falls quite some distance away from the fielders at the slip. So that is a very good start first up by Rohit with the ball. Anish will have to be a little more careful before plonking his bat for anything that is marginally outside the off stump. Here is Rohit again, but this time plays it very well. The fielder at third man gathers and Rohit gets off the mark, and so do the Rangers. Had all the time in the world to nicely and coolly glide it down to third man for a single, a comfortable single. That will bring Rohan on strike, the left-handed batsman. So for the left-hander, the two fielders that are out in the deep are the deep third man and deep third man and a deep fine leg. Both the fielders behind square on either off and the leg side. Rohan all in readiness to face Rohit. Plays it nicely down the ground, but once again that was a very close call. No run there, but what was Anish thinking? Definitely no single on there because of the close in fielder. So Rohit to continue to bowl to Rohan. Oh, he's played that beautifully. It's a majestic stroke. Goes to the boundary, one bounce over the rope for four. And that is the first boundary for the Rangers in their run chase. Excellent use of the feet. Times it to perfection as well. Comfortably over that mid-off fielder for four. Let's have a look at that once again. Beautiful extension. Was well above the ball. Gets to the pitch of the ball in time. Beautiful shot. Rohan gets off the mark. Oh, and he's knocked him over. Oh, and that's a send off as well. Things getting heated. And that is the perfect response from the bowler. Four in the previous delivery, and the stumps getting shattered in the next. You're down one ball, up the other, and the Mustangs get the wicket that they were looking for. Lovely ball, jacks back in and beats the batsman all ends up. And boy is Rohit pumped. Look at that. Beats the gap, keeps a little low, and that is a send off if there was one. Oh, Rohit is fired up and rightly so, and the Mustangs are fired up as well. 5 for 1. So Seamab is the new batsman who's come in at number 3. Five runs of this over and a wicket as well. The early wicket that the Mustangs were looking for, they've got one. They'd be over the moon if they managed to get in another at this stage. Here is Rohit. So the end of the first over, and the Rangers are a 5 for 1. And Meet is the new bowler from the other end. So Meet bowling left arm around the wicket to Anish. Plays it down the ground. Will comfortably get a single for this one. Here is Meet bowling to Seamab now. Again, plays it nicely down the ground to that fielder at long off for a single. And Seamab gets off the mark. Excuse me. So Meet just making a slight adjustment to his field as Anish waits in readiness. Here is Anish. Picks that sweep to perfection, and that is gone all the way for 6. Beautifully picked and executes that sweep to perfection and over the boundary for 6, and that is the first 6 of the run chase. Brilliantly picked. Look at that. Absolutely off the middle of the bat. Gets the connection and gets the distance as well. So that 6 has made this an over in the favor of the Rangers. Still 3 more balls to go. Anish to continue to face Meath. And this time picks it up, but there is protection there at short fine. At square leg, I beg your pardon. Plays it down the ground to that fielder at short cover. No run. So good comeback this after the 6, giving bowling two dot balls in a row. Picks that one, and that is gone. A couple of bounces to the rope for 4. So 12 runs in this over. And after the end of the second over, the JNS Rangers chasing 151 are 17 for 1. So 2 overs in. It's a pretty confident start. Been called a wide. There was an interest behind from the keeper, but it's called a wide by the umpire. We'll have to bowl that one again, will Rohit? Meanwhile, here is Rohit bowling to Seema up once again. This is a much better ball. Jagging back in slightly. It was a very close call for a run out as well, but he's eventually made his ground. The hands on head of the keeper signifies that that was a very, very close call indeed. Here is Rohit again. Oh, that is well kept. Excellently kept, and that is called a wide, but he certainly saved 4 runs for sure. Because the pace at which it was going, the boundary would have been the only other possible outcome. But that is excellent wicket keeping there to save 4 runs from adding to that total. And all these fielding efforts are an absolute must, especially when you're chasing somewhere close to a middling total, like defending a middling total of 150. These runs saved prove to be a huge difference as the game goes on. Oh, he's lured him into that shot, beats him on the outside edge. Good bowling that. So he's followed the wide with a good delivery, and then he's bowled another wide and followed it up with another good delivery. What will the next ball be? A rather peculiar over this, so far, at least. Seema looking a little ruffled at the moment, standing just outside his crease. Oh, he's picked that nicely. And that will race away to the boundary. Is it? No, it won't. Saved a boundary. Good fielding effort there from that deep fine leg fielder. Just when it felt like it was going to the boundary, he stopped it right on the edge of it. There. He played it fine enough, but he covered a fair bit of ground there, and good footwork to make sure that the ball does not go to the boundary. Well fielded there. He kept that down to only a single, so he certainly saved an extra run or 3 runs, depending on how you look at it. So after the wides, it's been a good over so far. Oh, Anish has picked that one up nicely, and that will travel to the boundary for 4. He picked the line early there, got in position very quickly, and quick hands meant that the ball safely and comfortably reaches the boundary for 4. So they're slowly getting a move on here, are the Rangers, finding that boundary every over, and that is exactly what they need. Just one boundary of every over and compensate that with a few singles around the corner. They're comfortably above the asking rate at this point. They'll need to continue in the same vein. Oh, he's played that one beautifully too. But there is protection at deep third. So will only be a single. The end of the third over, and the JNS Rangers are 24 for a wicket. It seems like we have a bowling change. And Anish on strike. He plays that and plays it between the gap beautifully for a boundary. And that is comfortably gone to the boundary for 4. So the Rangers continuing to find boundaries at regular intervals here. Plays it very well off the back foot. Pierces that gap between the two fielders there, closing in on the offside. And that is a comfortable boundary. So Hemal who is introduced into the attack, has been welcomed with a boundary. Here is Hemal once again, and this time it's again in the air, and that is traveling to the rope and will reach the boundary. So back to back boundaries here for the JNS Rangers. Again, short, asking to be hit, not the right ball under the circumstances. It was short, it was wide, gave the batsman ample of time to pick his spot, and he picks his spot rather comfortably at the end. So things not going the way of the Mustangs at the moment after that early wicket. They need to compose themselves. They need to have matured heads over their shoulders. They do not need to let this setback get to them. They are still in this contest. All they need is a couple of quick wickets and a few tight overs, and they will be back into the contest. There is a pause in play at the moment. There's a bit of a discussion going on between the umpires and the fielding captain, perhaps. No idea as to what was the reason for it. The discussion is still going on. And now we'll finally have resumption of play. Anish on on the cusp of a wave, having hit back-to-back boundaries in the first two balls of this over. And Hemal is the bowler who's currently under pressure. Here it is, the third ball. He's played that down the ground, and that is a misfield. Again, the last thing required. It'll only be a single, but it is not exactly what the Mustangs were looking for. That should have been a dot ball, and that misfield should have been avoided. Cannot give away easy runs when the score that you're defending is not the highest in the first place. Here is Hemal bowling to Seamab. Oh, that was down. Was that a catch chance? Was that the chance of a cotton bolt here? Looks like it probably. Tough chance. Was hit very hard. We hope the bowler is alright after being hit flush on the ankle there. Seems to be alright. There, plays it nicely. Will get a single. And another misfield here. They should. And they come for a second run. So again, where there should have been no run, they've given away 2 runs. So not the best fielding display here from the Mustangs. Oh, he's picked that. The pawns out of that. And that is gone for 4. So this is another big over here. Slock sweeps that seam up. Picks his spot nicely over the infield. A very, very safe shot given the field restrictions. And that is raced away to the fence. So 4 overs gone. The Rangers making it easy so far. 40 for 1. So Rohit brought into the attack and starts off with a dot delivery. Anish on strike. He's currently looking good on 20. Oh, that's hit nicely. He's connected. It's gone all the way. Picks the slot beautifully and plays it with elegance. It's gone all the way for 6. And Anish is making this target look very, very easy. He's making light work of it so far. He's moved on to 32 of 15 deliveries. And he's out there looking like $1,000,000. Great display of elegance and power hitting in equal measure from Anish. And the Rangers have moved on to 46 in double quick time. It's not looking good for the Mustangs, Brev. It's not looking good. Six conceded of the very first 2 deliveries of the over automatically puts the pressure back on the bowler and the bowling side. Oh, he's played that beautifully as well. And that has found the rope too. So a 6 followed by a boundary. And that brings up the 50 for the Rangers. Beautiful extra back. That was a lovely cut towards that deep cover point region. No fielder there again. And Anish is picking up his spots like there are no fielders there on the ground at this moment. He's making batting look very, very easy indeed. 50 comes up in the 5th over. Plays that down the ground. Will not get a run, but it doesn't matter because there's already a 6 and 4 of this over. So 10 runs coming off this over. So Rohit already into his 3rd over and Anish standing marginally outside his crease, just a foot outside. Oh, that's a good ball. Beaten him all ends up. with that particular delivery. Was trying to push that down the ground to the offside. Just that little bit of extra pace did him in. Here's Anish. This time picks it nicely, but straight to the fielder. So ends the over with 3 straight dot balls. So 5 overs gone. The Rangers 50 for 1. Meath has been entrusted the responsibility of bowling the final over of the power play. The Rangers are currently cruising at 50 for the loss of a wicket. They just need 101 more in the 15 overs. The required run rate less than 7 an over. And that's played very nicely indeed by Seamab. Late cut, and that finds the boundary. So that is some deft touch. Very, very deft touch indeed. Opening the face of the bat at the very last moment. And because there was a slip there was no protection in the deep or no protection at the third man region as well. So that would cruise to the boundary. So both batsmen picking their spots nicely, finding the boundary, and then playing out the rest of the over the way they would. Very, very good batting indeed. Here is Meath bowling to Simab again. And plays the same shot, but this time there is protection out there. So will only be a single. So Meath now will bowl to Anish. And Anish picking up his spot beautifully. One bounce over the rope for 4. The runs continue to flow, and Anish continues to find boundaries with ridiculous ease. This time behind square on the leg side. On one knee, beautifully swept, using the sweep to perfection. And that's another boundary in Anish's kitty. He moves on to 40 of 20. He's cut that, and he's cut that brilliantly. Back to back boundaries here. Anish is on fire, and the entire Mustangs side looks terrified. Behind square on the offside this time. That gap between the point and third man boundary cut with precision. Surgical precision indeed. Absolute brilliance on display. They just can't seem to find an answer to stop Anish at this point in time. And the way he's going, it looks like he might not get to be stopped. He looks unstoppable at this moment. Already 14 runs coming off the over, still 2 deliveries to go. We get a single now. Continuing to pile on the pressure on the bowling side. Here is Mead bowling to Seamab. Nicely taps it down and will get a single. So that brings us to the end of the power play. 6 overs gone. The Rangers are 66 for 1. Rajiv is the new bowler introduced into the attack, and now the field restrictions are off. So that means there is a long on, a long off. A deep mid wicket. It's a deep point. And deep extra cover. So these are the 5. It's a huge appeal for LBW, but not out, says the umpire. Plays it again, soft hands, gets a single. Rajiv bowling to Anish. Anish currently batting on 45. Oh, he's knocked him over! That was a brilliant delivery, and you believe with the way Anish was going, it would require a piece of brilliance to get his wicket. And that is an exceptional piece of bowling to get what is the second wicket for the Mustangs. There, cramps him for room, late turn, knocks him over, all ends up. But Anish has played a brilliant hand in setting his team up for a very comfortable position at this moment. They are currently cruising thanks to Anish's masterful innings of 45. 67 for 2, the Rangers. Rajiv now to bowl to Jay, who's the new batter out in the middle. Very close to the outside edge there. So this is a nice tight over. Just a single and a wicket conceded. Two more balls to go. Can Jay close this over as strongly as he began? Again, very good delivery. That's another dot ball. So Rajiv bowling very nicely indeed. Conceded just one run in the five balls he's bowled. Jay yet to get off the mark in the couple of balls he's faced. And it's a huge appeal for LBW and he's given. So that's two wickets in an over now. And Rajiv, out of against all odds, seems to have brought his Mustang side back into the contest with this over. Straight, yes, that looks very, very straight indeed. And the umpire had no hesitation in lifting his finger up. So that is two wickets in the over. And Jay goes without scoring. That is the end of the seventh over. What an excellent over it has been from Rajiv. Two wickets and just one run. And all of a sudden, the game's open now. The Rangers 67 for 3. So Neil is the new batsman and Meath will continue from the other end. He was very expensive in his first two overs, giving away 28 runs, but probably a new batter now and the situation of the match little different to when he was bowling would probably aid things in his favour as he seeks to bring down that scoring rate even more. Picked it nicely and played it behind square for a single. Neil plays that nicely but straight to the fielder. So he'll have to wait to get off the mark. Again, that was very well bowled, and that is another dot ball. So all of a sudden, the Mustangs are pulling things back after what felt like a rather one-sided canter for the Rangers. It is the Mustangs who are bouncing back strongly, courtesy of that two-wicket over from Rajiv. And now Meath continuing with his good work. Oh, and he's got another one! So all of a sudden, three wickets in double quick time. Just 2 runs added and three wickets have fallen. Meath bowls it full, Meath bowls it straight, and batsman misses and Meath hits. So that is wicket number 4. And now you can say that the Rangers are well and truly in this contest and have given a Mustangs back away. 4 wickets down now. How the turntables, just minutes ago, literally minutes ago, it felt like the Rangers were the ones in the box seat with a well set Anish and Seema playing the situation to perfection. And look at it now. In a matter of minutes, the game has turned. 4 wickets, 3 wickets in the space of 10 deliveries, and just 2 runs added in that space has suddenly given the Mustangs the upper hand now. Madcap sequence of 10 deliveries here, and the game has turned on its head. This is a golden window of opportunity here for the Mustangs if they want to further push their dominance. Another wicket here will mean that they are well and truly on top. So here is Shrey, who's facing Meath. Oh, that's a huge appeal for caught behind. While the umpire does not give it a wide, looks like it was the thigh pad. But living dangerously here now are the Rangers batsmen. Yes, that looked like it clipped the thigh pad. But this is another excellent over, just 1 run from it and a wicket to complement the previous over that went for 1 and 2 wickets. But just when I spoke, that's a misfield as well. So they will come back for 2. And it is a wide to boot as well. 3 runs of this ball gives the Rangers just that little bit of breathing room. Oh, it's called a leg bye. And that is the end of the over. End of the 7th over. 8th over, I beg your pardon. The Rangers are 70 for 4. It's not a wide, it's a leg bye. 81 runs required of 12 overs, but 4 wickets gone, 6 wickets in hand, 3 wickets falling in double quick time. And now Rajiv is back into the attack. They know that this is their window. They know that this is the time that they have to press in the advantage and make sure that they keep bowling tight overs after tight overs. Seema, the batsman, on strike. He's been holding fort on one end. Oh, that was very, very close to the stumps. So the sequence of dot deliveries continues now. 2 overs without a boundary, and suddenly the pressure is squarely on the batting team. Very, very close to the stumps indeed. And the reaction of the bowler, the keeper, and the close-in fielder says it all. They were in business. An appeal, but that's called a wide. Looked to be going rather wide as well. So the match tantalizingly set up now for it. Underlights, everything happening here. We have edges being beat. There, this time plays it nicely, but well fielded to keep it down to just a single. So that will bring Shrey on strike against Rajiv, who's looked very, very good with the ball. Shrey taking just that little bit of time to face Rajiv. Oh, that's a huge appeal! But the umpire says pitching outside. The impact probably outside the line. But this they've sneaked a leg by in the process. But this is very, very good bowling here. The umpire once again saying that the impact was outside. So this is another tight over so far. 15 balls without a boundary. 15 balls without a boundary. So Rajiv bowling to Simab. He's picked that nicely. And that is the much needed boundary that they were looking after. That will release the shackles a little bit for the batting side. Bowled it well down the leg side, and Seema just got enough bat on it, and it raced away fine with a boundary for four. 74 needed. Oh, close. So, defensive prod here. Seema currently holds the key to this run chase. He is the set batsman. He is the man who's been playing for a while now, coming into bat at number 3. He's played 18 balls. Again, plays it nicely. It's a risky single. Thought against it, and rightly so. So the end of the ninth over, the Rangers 77 for 4. 74 required of the final 11 overs. 6 wickets in hand for the Rangers. And Hemal comes back into the attack. Gave away 15 runs in his first over. What can Hemal conjure up here with the match so delicately poised? 74 runs to win for the Rangers, 6 wickets to win for the Mustangs. Was looking for a quick tap and run there was Shrey. He's eager to get off the mark. He's yet to get off the mark. He's on 0 of 4. So you can see the edginess that is there. And that is the case for every batsman who was looking to get off the mark but is unable to. He will definitely want to get off the mark here because every ball he flops without scoring will add to the pressure. Nice looking shot, and finally Shrey gets off the mark with that single to deep extra cover. And that will bring Seema on strike. The asking rate still under control. Not to worry about as far as the asking rate is concerned. but a couple of wickets here will obviously make things very interesting. Get a single there, slowly and steadily, inching closer to the target. So Shrey now to face Hemal. A boundary here probably will just reduce a little more of the pressure that has been building up on the Rangers. Plays it down the ground. Will get another single. So it's only runs coming in single so far in this over. Just one, one, one. Three singles of four deliveries. 71 required in 62. Seema up on strike to face Hemal. Again taps it down, but this time sent back, so no run. Excellent over this from Hemal, just three singles off it. Needs to finish strong. Seema up trying to go for the big shot, and he's got him. That is the fifth wicket. Seema has been bowled, and the match now well and truly alive. The Rangers lose half their side. Let's have a look at that wicket once again. Seema going for the slog sweep, misses it completely, and it goes on to crash into the stumps. So we are halfway through. The Rangers are 80 for 5. It is time for drinks, but good lord, this match is tantalizingly poised at this point. Let's have a drink. We are back after the drinks break, and boy, the match is poised evenly at this stage of the game. 80 for 5, 71 still needed, and half their side in the pavilion now. And it is Rajiv who is entrusted to bowl the third over. He's bowled brilliantly. Two wickets for his 7 runs. Here is Rajiv. Plays that nicely. And that is a boundary from Shrey. It's a beautifully timed shot. Picks it very, very early. Gets in position. And lovely use of the wrists and beats the infield with ease. So a much needed boundary this for the Rangers. That will just make sure that the dugout for the Rangers breathes a slight sigh of relief. That is the first boundary conceded by Rajiv in his spell. He had been bowling so well up until this point. Rajiv will have to let this be on the back burner and focus on the bigger task at hand, and that is to concede as few runs as possible in the remaining 5 deliveries and probably get a wicket along the way as well. Oh, that's a beautiful ball, flighted, getting just that little bit of late turn, beating Shrey all ends up just past the outside edge. Shrey facing Rajiv. It's in the air and taken! And that is wicket number 6. Rajiv gets his third wicket. And now the Rangers in a bit of trouble. There again giving a little flight, lures the batsman, and that was ballooned in the air and a comfortable catch at point. Got into that shot a little too early. Just no timing, no placement whatsoever. And that is wicket number 6. So the Mustangs making a very, very strong comeback into this contest. And Shakti is the new batsman out in the middle. Rajiv gets his third wicket. Things looking a little dicey now for the Rangers. Only 4 wickets in hand, and they still need to get 67 runs. And here's the problem: both the batsmen are brand new, completely new batsmen. Both of them have not faced a single delivery. And once again, an opportunity for the Mustangs to put even more pressure on the Rangers. They have done an almighty job so far of defending what has been a middling target, and therein lies the slippery slope of playing, of chasing such targets. Again, tight fielding here. Do they get a single? No, they don't. And this is the danger when you chase targets of 150 or anything in that range. You're lured into a sense of comfort that you will be able to get to that score comparatively easier. But quick wickets will obviously mean, oh, that's a beautiful delivery once again. There was everything there. There was turn, there was grip, there was bounce. That will definitely sow a seed of doubt in the minds of the batter, whether to play or whether to play for the turn or whether to play for the straighter one. So this is another excellent over. After going for a boundary in the first ball, all four have been dots and there's a wicket as well. Plays that down the ground, ends the over, just 5 runs conceded and a wicket. So 11 overs gone. The Rangers are 85 for 6. And Rajiv has been brought back into the attack to complete. I beg your pardon. It is Hemal who's back into the attack. He's bowled 2 overs, given away 18 runs, and taken a wicket. There's Hemal. Plays it straight back to the bowler. No run. Shakti currently on one of 4 deliveries. And Jamin on the other end yet to face a delivery. Again plays it down the ground. That's another dot ball. Plays it there. That's another dot ball. So pressure mounting now. Pressure well and truly mounting on the batting side here. The Mustangs well on top at this stage. Oh, very close. 4 dot balls in a row. This is excellent bowling from Hemal. They are tightening the noose around the Rangers batsmen. Again, very, very close to the stumps. And the expression says it all. They are circling around these Rangers batsmen like a pack of wolves, these Mustangs. There again, 5 dot balls in a row. This is absolutely peerless bowling from Hemal. "85 for 6. They were 67 for 1. 66, I beg your pardon, 66 for 1 in 6 overs. And the next 6 overs have only brought about 19 runs and they've lost 5 wickets. Finally, pierces the gap, races away to the boundary. Still only 4 runs, but that was a much needed boundary here. Gives the batsman just a little bit of width, enough to free his arms, and that's gone to the boundary for 4. 13 overs gone. 12 overs gone, I beg your pardon. 89 for 6. "62 required of the final 8 overs. Hemal had bowled a brilliant over up until that point. But despite the boundary, it's still a very good over, conceding only 4 from it. Well below the required rate. Rajiv will bowl out. Rajiv has been phenomenal. 3 for 12 in his 3 overs. Rajiv to bowl to Jamin, who will be facing it for the first time. Huge appeal for LBW and given! That is wicket number 7. Oh dear goodness gracious me. Rajiv has been phenomenal. Let's have a look at this. Very, very close. You have to give the benefit of doubt to the umpire here. Very marginal call. But the seventh wicket's gone and German departs for a first ball duck. The Mustangs now can reach out and touch victory. New batsman walking in at number 9. The Rangers. Akash is the new batsman who's walked in at number 9. The Rangers must be wondering how have they reached this situation. They were absolutely cruising. They were in the driver's seat after the 6 overs. And now they are just struggling to just mount a meaningful sequence. There again, a forward push, no run. And the required run rate that was so far well below 7, in fact, well below 6.5 at one point, is now gone above 8 runs and over. Oh, that's an appeal. Not out. Rajiv. Rajiv, you beauty. What a phenomenal spell of spin bowling this has been from Rajiv. 4 wickets for 12 runs. Just 12 runs. Absolutely marvelous from Rajiv here. Here he comes in the air, and that has gone to the boundary for 4. That is a good shot from Akash. Still some fight. In the slot, a half volley and picked up nicely by Akash. Beats that extra cover fielder for 4. Taps it down the ground to that fielder at short point. No run. The last ball of Rajiv's spell. He's been excellent. 16, 4 for 16. Can he pick another one on the final ball of his spell? Here comes Rajiv to Akash. Lets it go. That is a wide. Left ball that one again. Rajiv's not happy, but that looked like a wide. Here is Rajiv to bowl to Akash once again. So he ends a phenomenal bowling performance with a dot ball. 13 overs gone. The JNS Rangers 94 for 7. So Chintu is the new bowler introduced into the attack. Shakti is the batsman who will take strike. The target still 57 runs away, but the problem is that there are only 3 wickets in hand for the JNS Rangers, and that is the biggest sticking point. You're a Chintu bowling to Shakti. Plays it down the ground, no run, straight to the bowler. The towel's coming out. It's heavy dew out there in the outfield. Plays it there again. There is no run, and that's out. That is wicket number 8. There was absolutely no run there. Suicidal run out that. No chance for a single there. Absolutely no run on because Shakti had hit it rather nicely to that fielder. He timed it very well. Good throw to the keeper right above the stumps, and that was easy glove work. Batsman well short of his ground, and that is the 8th wicket gone. The Rangers are 94 for 8. Complete lack of communication between the two batsmen, and Shakti eventually had to lose his wicket. No hesitation from the umpire whatsoever because he was comfortably out of his crease there. Urvish walks out into the middle at number 10. The question now here for the Mustangs is how quickly can they take the remaining 2 wickets? This has been a brilliant bowling performance, an excellent defensive performance from the fielding side. Oh, that's edged, and that will find the boundary. Urvish gets off the mark in a fortunate manner, but he will take those runs. Darted in fast and quick, finds the edge and races away to the boundary, courtesy for 4. Here is Chintu bowling to Urvish now. Urvish trying to play that late, but again, no run on offer. But this has been a marvelous, marvelous effort with the ball and on the field from the JNS Mustangs. They knew that they were defending a small target, and despite being on the receiving end of some beating by Anish in the power play, they held firm, they did not waver, and the result is there for every. Oh! So close! So close indeed! Very close! Oh, goodness me! It actually hit the stumps, but the bails did not fall off. Talk about a huge slice of fortune. Urvish lives to survive another day. End of the over. 14 overs gone. The Rangers are 98 for 8. So Meet coming back. Akash, the batsman, on strike. It's been called a wide, and they will definitely go for the extra run, and that will bring the 100 up for the JNS Rangers. They have reached there eventually, but have lost 8 wickets in the process. Still 51 runs away from the target. They will need more and more of big hits from here on. But they're down to the very bare bones of their batting order. And that will eventually be the difference. Here is Meath bowling to Urvish. That's straight down the ground. There is protection out there, so will only be a single. 50 runs required now. Akash to face Meath. Again, will prolong that down. They're looking for two, and they will come back for two. This is very good running between the wickets. Very, very good running between the wickets indeed. There's still a semblance of a fight from the batting side. They are not ready to give in. They are not ready to throw in the towel just yet. And that is what you want to see from your team. That never say die attitude right up until the very end. To give tooth and nail for the cause. And that is exactly what Akash and Urvish are doing here. No matter what the result, the fight has to always be visible. You need to fight for everything. And in this case, for the game. Plays it down, no run. Meath bowling. Plays that nicely. He's beaten the fielder. And that is gone for four. Hold on, folks. There could yet be a twist in this tale. That was nicely maneuvered. Played the field to perfection. Knew that there was no fielder on the deep behind square on the offside. And Akash uses his wrists to beautiful effect. And now the target that is required is 44. This is a very, very good over. 9 runs of this over. The required rate 8.25, but that does not matter at this point. They need to score the runs without losing these 2 wickets. The equation very, very simple for the Rangers. Score the 44 runs before the 32 balls get over. 107 for 8. This game has swung wildly from one way to another. Do we have one final game-changing twist in this contest? This game is still not over. Akash facing Meath. Plays it down the ground. Will not get any run for it. Nine runs coming off this over. Last ball of Meath's spell. Bowling to Akash. Oh, he's picked that spot. Will get a single. So 10 runs coming off this over. 15 overs gone. The JNS Rangers 108 for 8. Still 43 runs away. So we're in the last 5 overs, and Jekin has been brought into the bowling attack for the first time. Still a very, very even, not say evenly poised game, because it's still the Mustangs who are on top at the moment. But the longer this partnership goes on, the longer this partnership goes on, and the more it'll hurt the chances of the Mustangs. A little bit of time taken to set the field, probably, because this is as important to the bowling side as to the batting as well. Very interesting choice to give a pacer the over after continuing almost the entirety of the middle stages of this innings with spin. Very, very interesting call by the captain indeed. So here is Akash facing Jekin. Hits it straight down the ground, and he starts off with a boundary. There is still fight in the Rangers. Low full toss, hits it straight as an arrow beyond the bowler's despairing foot, and that is a boundary. Well, 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 folks, what do we have in store? Just when it seemed like all hope went lost for the Rangers, they are finding ways to fight back. More recently with Akash and Urvesh. Here is Jackin. It's an appeal for LBW. Nothing doing. They will scamper across for the leg bye. This game's still not over. Still not over. Not until Urvish and Akash say so. They have applied themselves well. Especially Akash, and Urvish has done the smart thing by playing the anchor, by putting a price on his wicket, by making sure he does not do anything silly. There again, smart cricket there. Looking for the second, will only have to settle for a single. So once again, proper partnership batting this. They've got 6 runs of this over. Akash now having a look at the field. And here is Jekin bowling to him. He's played that nicely down the ground. Will only get a single though. So 7 runs coming off the 4 balls. Still 2 more balls to go. A boundary here will well and truly change the complexion of the game. Will make things very, very interesting indeed. Plays it, taps it down the ground. That's a quick single, and they will get it. A little bit of frustration there by the fielding side. They are feeling the heat as well in the school. They need to keep their calm. They need to keep their nerve. Here is Jekin bowling to Akash once again. Can he find a boundary on this delivery? No, he can't. And more importantly for the bowling side, it is a dot ball. So that brings us to the close of the 16th over. It's 116 for 8. Still 35 to win of 4 overs. And now we have Hemal back into the attack. 3 overs, 1 for 22. Urvish on strike. Trying to go for that big shot. Swing and a miss. Goes for that big heave ho on that leg side. Misses completely as he fresh air McClares it. And immediately Akash walking down to his partner. Just trying to let him know that there's still no need for that big shot. All we need to do is just play the situation smartly. And that is the need of the hour for the Rangers here. Play the situation smartly. The bowling side is equally in pressure. They've not been able to have a control over proceedings here. And the last thing that they need is throwing away their wicket at this juncture. Again, trying that big shot, getting nowhere close to the connection that he was looking for. That is 2 dot balls in a row. Hey, very close to the outside edge. Make that 3 dot balls. So all of a sudden now, once again, the pressure on the Rangers. Good bowling, good tight bowling from Hemal. Bowling it in that channel just outside the off stump. That keeps low. 4 dot balls in a row. That keeps very low indeed. This is very, very good death overs bowling from Hemal. Still has 2 more balls to go. This over could very well be the one that turns the game decisively in the Mustangs' favour. Will only get a single. Will only get a single. Excellent bowling from Hemal. He has kept a tight leash this over. But can he finish this over strongly? No boundary, says his captain. No boundary, say his fielders. No boundary must be the voice inside his head too. Here we go. Akash to Hemant. It's in the air. Has it gone long enough? That's taken. And that is what could probably seal the match. So Hemal ends the over with a wicket. And it is Akash who has to walk back to the pavilion. Hemal gets his second wicket. What a brilliant spell it has been from him as well. 4 overs, 2 for 22. Gives that ball a little bit of flight. Akash deciding to take the aerial route. Gets absolutely no connection whatsoever. And that was a very, very simple catch to the fielder there. 9 wickets down now. And surely you must wonder that this is the end of a fight back from the Rangers. 117 for 9 after 17 overs. 34 to win in 18. Rohit brought back into the attack. 3 overs, 1 for 23. 34 required. Urvil and Gokul, the last batting pair out there in the middle. Here is Rohit. Urvil facing. Plays it down the ground. Will be a single. That'll bring Gokul on strike to face his first delivery. "33 required of 17. One wicket in hand. Just one solitary wicket. Can Gokul swing for the hills and connect on a couple of deliveries to make things a little more interesting than they already were? Standing outside his crease is Gokul. Let's see what can he conjure from here. Swing and a miss. Dot ball. This is probably the one over that could probably swing the game still if Gokul manages to get a couple of lusty hits to the boundary. But that again is dependent on a very big if. Swings, does not connect, will get a single. Brings Urvish on strike. Urvish currently on 9 of 13. What can Urvish do from here? "33 of 15. Plays it down the ground. Again, will only be a single. That is not something that will hurt the Mustangs at this stage. Not at all. Gokul to face Rohit. It's in the air. It's in the air. And that is gone for 6. So Gokul connects 1. And the match is still surprisingly not over. Gokul has managed to connect 1 and send it beyond the boundary for 6. We are still in with a shout. This game does not fail to entertain. This is a huge delivery in the context of the game. And knocks him over. It's all over. It is the Mustangs who have emerged victorious by 24 runs. And despite the late fight back, you feel that the Rangers have lost what should have been an eminently winnable game. They were well and truly in control after 6 overs. They were cruising at 67 for 1. But an almighty collapse in the middle overs meant that they were left chasing the game. And this was the final wicket. It was full, it was fast, it was straight. Gokul was trying to clear the fence once again, but this time the ball was too good for him. But what a performance it has been with the ball for the Jns Mustangs. They did not lose hope despite getting hit in the power play, and they are here with a very well deserving victory. The final score, the final result in this Dats Premier League fixture is that the JNS Mustangs beat the JNS Rangers by 24 runs. This is Delvin along with cameraman Suresh and operator Fayaz. It has been a pleasure to take you through this contest. Till the next game, we wish you a good night. Stay safe and stay healthy.